Hey, I'm glad to be back with you. I haven't done this for a while. I've been having a little problem making this work tonight. So they say third time is a charm, is a winner. I'm drinking water. I want to talk about three things tonight. Does Trump really want to run for a third term? He'll be 84. Uh, can he? Let's talk about the Russian war, the meeting with Trump in Alaska, and the woke Democrats uh, did not show up so for a quorum for the redistricting of Texas, where they may lose 5 seats. More importantly, they may lose their job. So let's go to the first part. I don't think, I don't think it's a good idea for a president to run for 3 terms. And why? George Washington spent 7 years of his life freezing weather, fighting to give us a republic. And he declined to run for a third term. Uh, he just didn't think it was proper. He could have been made king of the country, emperor, anything he wanted. But his vision was to have a republic where you and I have a direct say in where this country goes. So Trump is going to be 84. He's working 18 hours a day. He can't keep this up forever. I think he brought Vance in because Vance is young, articulate, so he doesn't even intend to run. But is it possible? Well, up until Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who was elected for 4 terms, yes, a man could run for 2 terms. But the GOP Republicans changed that law through a constitutional amendment. And a constitutional amendment does not happen overnight. You have to get 2/3 of the Senate or Congress to vote for it. It has to be ratified by 50 states. So, but that could be short circuited if he can find some legal footing where he'd have a reasonable chance of winning um, at the Supreme Court level. Let me adjust this microphone. Well, the cavalry's going to come running to the rescue. Yes, President Obama will be hopping back in there. President Clinton would also come back in. Obama, though, the Messiah, if he tells the Democrats who have been trained very well to when he says jump, they say how high, yes, they would vote uh, for a constitutional amendment. If Trump really wants to run, probably the GOP would also vote for it, not as much as the Democrats, because the Democrats will not cannot think they follow Obama. And yes, it could be changed back. But again, I don't think Trump intends to run, and I don't think he should. I just think George Washington was a lot smarter than the people running the government today. Now, the other thing is, Trump has been a peacemaking president. He really does detect war. And the thing with Russia, he's going to meet with them first, I believe, and then with Ukraine. Um, Russia is a game changer. What does he have on his mind? Putin is a brutal dictator. He went back, he's bombing civilians. Now, incidentally, they tried that during the Second World War. Hitler did, who was a real animal. And later on, after the war, historians both from the Allies and Germany got together, and they asked the Germans, said, you were winning the war. You were knocking out ball bearing factories and production plants. And then you started bombing civilians, which only hardened the people to keep on fighting. And they did pretty well because they were told to do it. So Putin might think if he goes ahead and continues the war, people will rally to him. They do it for some part, generally for about 4 years. More so if their country's being invaded, which is not happening that way. But this man is not playing with a full deck of cards. And and you can keep it with you in a non-winning war for about 4 years. But he might be between the cross sides, maybe to get ready to oust him. And so he may want to continue the war. And don't forget, Ukraine may not agree to the proposal. Ukraine is, I admire them very much, their willingness to stick up for the country. What do I think would be fair? I think it'd be fair for the United Nations and everybody to kick Putin's butt, get him out of that country altogether, and require him to pay part of the rebuilding of Ukraine. Those people hadn't done anything wrong except trying to protect their real estate. And if Putin had done this, you think he's going to stop there? Can you tell me when is the last time in history, go back 2500 BC, that a dictator took over a country and that cleansed his appetite for more land? It doesn't happen. Many dictators would like to become greater than Alexander the Great, who was the only conqueror to conquer the whole world. Now, the woke Democrats, when we talk a little bit silly tonight, might as well talk about them. It looks like if Texas redistricted, that the GOP would pick up 5 more seats. The governor of Texas is a Republican. So the Democrats all left the country or the state knowing that there's not enough to have a quorum. That means you can't have a vote. Now, the governor can keep doing it, but he's threatened to have them arrested. There's warrants out for all of them, and he's turned to the FBI to help locate them. FBI can make state arrests if they want to. They generally don't. But all the GOP is doing is what the Democrats has done for years. Now, California, they're coming to the rescue. They're going to do the same thing. But the liberal states has already milked this cow for all it's going to give. They can't pick up no more states. So if they do this, when the smoke clears, the Democrats coast to coast, border to border, may lose about 10 to 12 seats. And in all probability, Trump still produces. The economy gets better. Prices get down where the average working man can afford to go to the grocery store. Then in 2026, the Republicans will maintain the Senate, the House. Of course, they get the White House until 2028. Well, that's what I had on my mind. I wish you'd hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. It's just actually means more to me than money. I really like it when people subscribe to our station. Next time, I hope you live as long as you want and never live as long as you live. Good night, and God bless the USA.